Hey fam, it's been just a brief moment. A whole lot has happened this summer. Just came back from the Yucatan, experienced Mayan culture, had boots on the ground, and really loved the weather, loved the love of the people, the energy. My body loved it, even though my body didn't like the water internally, if you know what I mean. But I'm filled, and I've come back refreshed and recharged because I stepped out of this certain system that we're actually living in into a more peaceful, quiet, sustainable, more loving society and mindset, if you will. So I was able to feed and fortify my consciousness. And so today I wanted to share something with you that I often share with my Beyond Hypnosis clients when they come to me asking about relationship issues. Asking why a certain person came into their lives, or why they couldn't say no to someone, or what that strong attraction was for something that turned out to be not so happy or seemed to be negative. But as we remember that everything in life, our entire experience is mental. And what I mean by that, by our experiencing being mental, is that everything that comes into our awareness, whatever we see, smell, touch, taste, even remember on that level, is an experience. It's one that doesn't really have any meaning. It just is. And so it is our job to make the determination what any given stimulus that shows up in our world means to us. And of course, this is where our emotions and of course intuition can come into that. But because the universe is mental, and we are mental beings, spiritual beings who are having a physical experience, everything filters through our consciousness, through our thought process, through our personality, through our cultural experiences and beliefs, how we see ourselves and how other things relate to us, and what all that means. And so when we come to relationship and we see that someone perhaps betrayed us or hurt us or lied to us, or maybe didn't respond in the way we really wanted them to because they didn't feel the same way, these things can hurt us, not because of what they were, but they hurt us according to what things mean about us. If you think about it for a moment, you can take two people in the world, and we've all seen this. Both people can have the same experience, see the same accident, if you will. Think of the analogy of the blind man who is describing the elephant, right? It's depending on his perception of where he happens to be experiencing, feeling, touching that elephant, right? If he's at the trunk, he's going to describe the elephant as a trunk, right? Or if he's at the tail, this is what he's going to describe the elephant of, because his perception or experience of that elephant is very limited according to his ability to experience the world, right? He's blind, and all he's got is his touch, right? He can probably smell the elephant, He can hear the elephant, but he can't see the elephant in its totality. And all of us are experiencing the world in that limited purview of our experiences, of our beliefs, of our culture, of this earth suit that we're wearing. We perceive everything according to that and what things mean about us. And so that's why today I wanted to share something that is called the 7 Essene mirrors of relationship. You might have heard of it, and I'm not even sure where it came from. I know that it's been associated with Greg Braden for quite a while, but I believe that it comes from something much older and deeper, thus the name, the Essene. This was an ascetic group that lived in Egypt, the pre-Christian era. I believe they were contemporaries, and probably had some connection with John and Yeshua, the one that we know as the Christ. And they were a group, who were very pure in their belief system. They resisted the Romans. They resisted the Hellenization of previous conquests, if you will. So they had the pure consciousness of what we now call Christianity. Okay? So they had a really interesting perspective about relationships. Okay? Now, if you know more about the foundational root of where this comes from, please reach out and let me know. I would love to know. But wherever it came from, whether it is misnamed, a misnomer, or whatever it might be, there is such wisdom in this document here. And so I'm going to share my screen so that you can take a look at it. And there it is. I'm hoping that you can see it well. And just to read the text here, and again, I don't even remember where I got it from. I've had this for probably over 20 years or so. So if there's any copyright infringement, forgive me. It's not intentional. I just felt led to share this with those out here who really need to understand what their relationships are about and the great gift that is being brought forth through relationship. So, the 7 Essene mirrors. And the document goes, we live in an action and reaction world known as the plane of demonstration, where consciousness creates reality. We manifest and magnetize people and events into our lives according to our consciousness. Now, what do we know this as? This sounds like the law of attraction, does it not? Yeah. Okay. Now, the 7 Essene mirrors is a way of understanding how this process works. We can use what seem to be negative experiences as stepping stones to healing and empowerment. And if you know me, that is what I'm all about, right? Pain is one of your best friends. That negative feeling is a stepping stone. Stepping away from victimhood now. Because this is not for the weak of heart. This is not people who are still deep in, look what they did to me, and why me, and poor me. This is for those who want to evolve past that and who want to use the challenges in their lives to catapult them to higher levels of being. Okay? This is about healing and empowerment. Now, when life rolls boulders, we want to build some stairs, right? Okay. Now, The first mirror reflects to us that which we are. It's something that we ourselves are doing, or where we ourselves have been in error or wounded. So this is speaking to these mirrors that people that we meet hold up to us, right? So we can identify who's holding up that first mirror to us, or what relationship in the past was holding this first mirror to us, reflecting to us who we ourselves are in that moment of when we began that relationship. Who are you being, right? In that very moment speaks to you what is going to begin to show up in your life. Okay? And we're going to keep this really quick. The second mirror reflects to us that which we judge. Okay? It's something that we have an emotional charge with. Something that we have either been wounded by in the past and have not forgiven. Okay? It's good to discern, however, that if we judge and condemn with an emotional charge, we're going to attract exactly what we judge into our lives. Remember, this is not about some deity in the clouds who's judging you and punishing you. This is about your consciousness and who you are being, what your soul is calling out to grow through, to heal through, to learn, right? All right. The third mirror reflects back to us something that we lost, gave away, or had taken away. When we see something that we love and desire in another, it's often something that we've lost, given away, had stolen in our lives. Every relationship is a relationship with the self. Yeah, see that? And often we try to reclaim what was lost, what we gave away or had taken away as a child. It could be joy, innocence, honesty, integrity, courage, love, all of which we reclaim within ourselves. Because remember, this is what relationship is about. There's always going to be an exchange of some sort, right? All right, let's keep going. The fourth mirror reflects back to us our most forgotten love. This could be a way of life, a lost or unfinished relationship. Often it's a past life where a wrong conclusion from past experience was created. This will recreate itself over and over until the right conclusion is registered in the soul as wisdom. This is about growth. This is what relationships are for. It's not about feel good and somebody taking care of you and coddling you and comforting you 100% of the time. Well, yes, all of that is part of relationship. You do want to have the joys and the connection, someone getting you. But there's also the offering of work here, okay? Healing here. All right, number 5. The fifth mirror reflects back to us, the father-mother. It is often said that we marry our father or mother. We also often become them, acting out the same healthy and unhealthy patterns that we learned from them as a child. Our fathers and mothers to us as children are gods. It will often reflect the same relationship we have with others and the mother, father, God principle. That's deep. Thinking about that one here. I know for a lot of you, some of that is coming up. Every relationship that we have is going to fall into at least one of these categories. All right, let's keep going. Number 6. The 6th mirror reflects back to us the quest for darkness, or what's often called as the dark night of the soul. This is when we meet our greatest challenges, our greatest fears, and have been gathering the tools and understandings in life to confront them. Because God never gives anyone more than what they can handle. And we have a choice in every experience to greet it as a powerful, manifesting God, goddess, or we can choose to meet it as a victim. It's totally up to you. Remember, I said in the outset that nothing has any meaning other than the meaning that we give it. Okay. The 7th one, the last one. The 7th mirror reflects back to us our self-perceptions. Others will perceive and treat us according to how we perceive and treat ourselves. Big one. If we have low self-esteem and do not acknowledge our wisdom and beauty, others will not acknowledge it either. They will in turn often react in the same way towards us, unless they're on a higher quest. We do have people who see through it and are on a higher quest, and they may be with us as teachers, right? Okay. If we change our perception of ourselves, we change the world. Maybe it's time to be kind, loving, and compassionate to ourselves and others. Remember the saying, the only reason anyone has power over you is that you want something from them. Deep. Deep. Whether it be love, joy, or a personal God connection. Maybe that's something that we can find right there with ourselves. So I'm going to stop sharing. But this right here is speaking to the quest to knowing ourselves. Man, woman, know thyself. Certainly, we have relationships so that we can get this knowing. And we can see where the pain can trigger that quest and that understanding. That even though these other people, these relationships can trigger that knowledge of self, right? By mirroring back that which is going on within. Then we don't really need other people to tell us about ourselves. We grow past that idea of having so-called dysfunctional relationships for our growth. And then perhaps we can have relationships that are of choice, of love, of growth and development through insight rather than through pain. I know a wise man who always said, you're going to learn and you're going to do it either through pain or through insight. Choose insight. But know that you're always learning and growing. Your life is always presenting opportunities internally and externally through relationships. But listen and heed and use this really valuable tool to reflect upon and perhaps analyze a little bit about those relationships. Even if they're in the past, by reflecting upon them And using this great tool of the 7 Essene relationship mirrors, you can begin to learn on a deeper level how to take care of you, how to grow, and to be who you truly meant to be in this life. I hope you enjoyed this. Peace and blessings. Reach out to me and share if this was helpful. Share it with people. Like it. It'll help others find this work. Take good care in peace, wisdom, and power.